It's great to be opening up for the conference. So we should probably just get started. We've got quite an agenda today of several things to get through. So I'll be taking you for the first part of this seminar of an overview of the Neutone project and what that consists of and the components there, and what is available that you can use right now that we've built and produced for you. Then we go to Bogdan Talega, who's going to talk to you about the Neutone SDK, which is another key component to this Neutone project, and is going to sort of show you and instruct you through wrapping your first AI model for Neutone and what that workflow looks like. And then we've got Naotake Masuda, who's going to be talking you through implementing real-time audio models, which are then suitable for Neutone and how to deploy these to Neutone, and looking at certain or specific architectures that we support there at the moment. Just to give you a bit more background on us, my name is Andrew, and I'm the tech lead on the Neutone project. I work as an AI engineer at Cosmo, and I've previously worked at a handful of companies doing a lot of sort of DSP and plugin development. I'm currently doing my PhD looking at neural audio synthesis and audio effects and trying to build tools like Neutone to empower artists with the latest technologies for their creative process, really. So I'm actually currently in Glasgow right now. I think the rest of the Cosmo team are in Tokyo, so it's very early for me and very late for them. Or not too late for them, but early for me anyway. So yeah, then we've got Bogdan, who is also another AI engineer at Cosmo, and like I said, he'll be taking you through the SDK part of this conference. And we've also got Naotake Masuda, who's also an AI engineer at Cosmo and doing his PhD at the University of Tokyo, looking at AI-assisted music production and building tools as well, using AI for audio. And Naotake will be taking you through the third part of the seminar, essentially building a real-time audio model and looking at architectures that we support, like Rave and DDSP for Neutone. So I thought I'd start off with this. This was our release trailer, or not trailer, release video for Neutone, featuring quite reputable artist Big Yuki, who got his hands on early access to Neutone to integrate it as part of his workflow and writing his new album. So I'll play this off, and it gives you an idea of how this tool can be used.
この本には2小節の音楽の断片が多数収録されています。サイコロ2が振って出た値によってこれらの断片を並べていき、一つのまとまったが
What's up? Big Yuki here. And man, Neutone is the happy accident. It gives me all kind of new ideas. I can't wait to write some crazy using it. Stay tuned.
Oh shit!
So, yeah, I love that genuine reaction from Big Yuki at the end there. I think that's one of the major parts of Neutone is just that process of some artistic discovery and exploration. So, anyway, let's crack on. And so, yeah, what is Neutone? Well, Neutone is it's a community at heart. got this here. Yeah, community. We're targeting mainly creators and artists and researchers as well, trying to really merge the gap between both parties here, and essentially empower artists with the latest technology, but also give researchers a platform to deploy the latest research as well in AI audio. Other than the community, well, here's our website actually. If you want to find out more, you can go to neutone.space, and we've got on there, this is where you can get the plugin, which I'm hoping several of you have downloaded the plugin for the next part of the workshop. But if not, you can head to the neutone.space to get it there. Yeah, we also display our models and a bunch of other information. We've got blogs on there as well for you to read about the plugin and about some of the architectures that we support. So this is a sort of overview of the whole system of Neutone and how it really works, and to kind of give you a visual on all the different components here and what you can do. So if we come from the perspective of a researcher who's maybe wanting to integrate one of their latest models into and deploy it in Neutone, so you've got a new architecture that you want to create a model from, then our SDK runs is built using PyTorch currently. So you would construct a PyTorch model. You would then train that model, and then this is where you'd harness our SDK wrapper to wrap the model and export it, so it's compatible with Neutone. At that point, you can either choose to import it straight, like locally, straight into the plugin and deploy it. And this is obviously great for testing your model and seeing if it runs correctly and how you expect. After that, or you don't need to do the step, but you can also upload it to us on our GitHub and submit it to us. And if we approve it, we can then feature it in the model browser that we have as part of the plugin. So I can show you that. Thank you. Well, I've got this is the plugin UI. We currently support VST3 AU, and also we have a desktop standalone version of the plugin. So I don't have a picture here, but I think you saw it in the previous video. There's a model browser which shows you all the available models that we are currently supplying, and we have a good amount now. Like, it started small, but now we have quite a lot of models that we've trained over the past few months. So of various different architectures. The UI is quite simple here. You've got a handful of global controls. You've got like your wet dry, input gain, output gain, so controlling the mix of the different signals there of your sound. You've also got these custom parameters, which A, B, C, D, which are hooks into the model that you've currently loaded and are using. There's like tooltips when you hover over them to tell you what parameters specifically they are, if you've labeled them correctly in the model. But these change when you change the model. So you can also create presets, and there'll be more functionality as the plugin develops in the future. So stay tuned for all that. These are some of the models that we support at the moment, and the main architectures we've chosen to support due to the fidelity and quality of the models, plus the fact that they run in real time, are things like DDSP, and we've got Rave as well. And these models are kind of like a style transfer model, and they have a different sound and different use case. So I won't go into too much detail about it right now, but Bogdan and Naotake will go into more detail and provide more clarity on the differences in these models and why, and you'd maybe want to use them and where as well. So yeah, just as I was saying earlier, you can share your models via this SDK wrapper layer that we have. So you can wrap your model so that it's compatible with the plugin. using our Python SDK. Then you can export that and load it into your plugin locally, or you can submit it to us and we can feature it in the model browser, which allows you to download it from anywhere and deploy in the plugin. So now I will show you a demo of the plugin, which is exciting. So let's hope this is all working. You know how live demos usually go. So here I've got Reaper up. I'll see if I can. Yeah, that's probably a bit better. Got Reaper up here, which is.
I think the screen is like you're showing the wrong screen.
Oh, am I? That's not good. Oh, I see. 2 seconds. Thanks for pointing that out. So yeah, stop share. Bear with me, everyone. Okay, so right, can you see Reaper now? Awesome. Okay, so got Reaper here. You can have we support multiple DAWs, Ableton, Logic, you know, but this is the one we're using for this demo. We've got a dry drum input here. Hope you can hear that. Very basic rhythm, but once you pipe that through Neutone, through some of the models, you can get some interesting sounds at the other end. So, you know, if we use DDSP, I mean, this is not the best model to use for this because, you know, it tracks pitch, but, you know, so this is, if you put drums through, and it's like changed into a saxophone, so it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit mental. From that, you can like change the harmonic content and up the breathiness, which is interesting. We've also got a bunch of rave models as well. So DDSP, we've got like saxophone, shakuhachi, violin, and then rave, we've got a bunch by Antoine Quillion, who wrote rave. So this like NASA model is quite cool. Was like trained on, I guess, NASA speech recordings like of the astronauts in space. Not that you can hear that, but you know, when you put drums to it, I think it's kind of also changes to like radio static almost. What else do we have? Choir. Okay, so that's
it's like the output sound is really small.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it could have been more.
Look at that. Yeah. So that's that's quite an interesting one. And then we've got voices as well. So almost this translates to almost like beatboxing. Nice. So, okay, so that's a quick taster of Neutone, like in the DAW and how it works. Like I was saying, you can download these models here from the model browser, or you can load your own model locally. And you can save presets and things down here as well. So I will just come out of this now. Okay. Back to slides. Yeah, just to give you a bit of backstory how this all came about. We first created a Rave VST called Rave Edition as part of the Nash hackathon hosted by Queen Mary University of London. And it did quite well, and the Nash hackathon caught a bit of attention, and that spiked this interest of maybe trying to create something a bit, I guess, bigger in scale than working only specifically on one architecture. So we also were inspired by the Audacity Torch project, which is this idea of wrapping your models to then run in Audacity. However, Audacity Torch was sort of offline models, not for real-time purposes, and for it wasn't being deployed as part of a plugin, but it was a great start in this direction and inspired us to kind of do something similar with the Neutone project, but aiming more at like real-time models. So that then brought us to Neutone, and why did we decide to do this anyway? I guess the main reason was it's just to empower artists with the latest technology. That's fundamentally why we wanted to build something like Neutone. It allows researchers to easily deploy their models in the DAW, and then gets it into the hands of artists to start being creative with it. And you can start doing things like this. So yeah, lots of creative fun there, and you just think what you can do if you have your hands on a bunch of these models and integrate it into your creative workflow. So now let's look at building and wrapping a model for Neutone. So I'll pass you on to Bogdan for this. You'll need the Neutone SDK for this and the plugin. So I'm sure Bogdan will go over these requirements as well. Yeah, so this is back to the agenda. So yeah, I'll pass it on now to Bogdan. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoy the next part of the Neutone workshop.